Hello, beautiful hearts. This is Lysa Black, Heart Healer. I am here to invite you into a new view of what I'm faced with every morning and what I love to look at. I want to show you how I look without my hair done, without my makeup on, and I want to walk you through the journey that I've been on for the last 10 years. I want to be vulnerable. I want to be untouched. I want you to see, and I want to walk beside you, because what I believe is that we have the highest expectations of ourselves, and we simply don't know what it truly involves to step into our truth, to rise in our purpose, and to allow ourselves to create and receive everything that we genuinely desire. So watch this space. I'm going to be back. I'm going to go blow dry my hair, and I would love to talk more about how you are further along than you imagine, that everything will be okay, and that you're exactly where you need to be right now. See you soon. Great. So we have hair partially dry, but still wild. I remember I used to always straighten my hair, and I straightened my hair because I wanted to look a little bit more orderly, shall we say, a little bit more neat, a bit more tidy, maybe a little less ferocious, to be really honest. And what I really found was I got sick of straightening my hair, because I got sick of trying to be someone that I thought I should be in order to have other people like me. And what I'm doing right now is giving myself full permission in my life to show up as I am. Not as I wish I were, not as I'd hoped I'd be, not as others would have me be, but simply as I am. So let's put on some makeup together, because that's cool, and I really need to do this because I have a client session happening next, and so I thought I would utilize the time to connect with you and tell you a bit of a story about my career that spanned over 10 years now, and walk you through some of the stages and walk you through some of the most valuable pivots that I made and how I was able to make them. And I hope that by sharing this, that will be something that will touch you. So I studied world politics at university once I was an adult. And then from the time I graduated, I really realized that I couldn't affect world peace in the way that I wanted. What I realized was that my own heart was hurting and that I didn't know what to do about it. And when the fourth boyfriend in 4 years broke up with me for the same reasons, it really was the awakening that I needed to realize that I was recreating my parents' past pain in my life right now as an adult. I already went through it with them, and I landed back in it again. So that was tough. That was rough. But what's really great is when you realize that you're recreating something from your past. I didn't blame my past. My parents were not as present in my life. I caught up with them every couple of months. I was out of home. I was an adult. I was a conscious, free entity capable of doing as I pleased. And yet I still unconsciously chose the men that would leave me, just like my father left my mother and our home repeatedly as I was growing up. If I was somehow unconsciously, unknowingly recreating the patterns of my past, that hurt enough for me to realize that I then could have the power to create new internal patterning that would manifest what I do want on the outside. Let's go some concealer. And so what I really loved about that shift was I felt like I really returned to my power, and I moved away to a place where I wasn't around so many friends, where I didn't have to try and be someone that other people wanted me to be, where I didn't have to try and make anyone else happy. And I made myself my biggest project. I was like, Lysa, you know what? I'm going to pay attention to you. I'm going to love you in the way that you've always longed for a man to love you. And I'm going to support you to step into your own beauty and be who you are instead of trying to be like somebody else. And what was so pivotal about that shift was that I started attracting men who genuinely liked me for who I was. They were reflecting the internal new pattern that I had created for myself. This new relationship that I was creating with myself became the new foundation for which I was creating my relationships with men. So once I moved to Cairns and I made myself a project, I worked in a little dress shop, and I really did make myself my project, and I created what I wanted. Within 6 months, I had manifested my now husband. It's our wedding anniversary in a couple of weeks, and we'll be celebrating 10 years of being married. And so I realized I did have the power to turn the tides on the patterns of my past, restructure them internally first, so that I could then manifest externally what I desired. Concealer on. And what I loved about that is that I moved to New Zealand because my husband was a Kiwi, and I started working as a personal trainer. And what really happened for me working as a personal trainer was that I'd never worked as a personal trainer before. My background was in food and working as a weight loss counselor. And what I found was that going and shifting, dropping 30 kilos, now working as a weight loss counselor, I thought, nah, exercise must be a really crucial ingredient. So I became a personal trainer and a class instructor, and 3, and 2, and 1, let's go, and yeah. And what I really loved about that was that I became the operations manager, I became a center manager, and what I found is that I listened to more and more women over and over again. They were only trying to create the results they wanted by paying attention to exercise and food. And what I realized was that that was not the source of where they could actually make changes in their life. So I was inspired to study life coaching. So voila, I went and I took 6 months to have a qualification, and I trained with the NZ School of Coaching, a 6-month certification, invested $6,000, and came out a certified life coach. And I had no idea what I was doing. No one ever really does. And what was really great was that by doing that, by really allowing myself to step into an arena where I had more jurisdiction, where I had access to a broader conversation, I could actually invite clients to tell me more about the situation rather than just food, eating, exercise, how they felt about their body. And what I found was really beautiful about that was that I found out there is so much more going on. Within a year, I was specializing in weight loss because that was my own background. It's always powerful if you're stepping into business for yourself to always lead other people through the same results that you have created in your own life. Your triumphs and your, the things that you've championed are really the things that will attract ideal clients to you because they really want to be with someone who's done it. And so that was what I had done. But what I realized was that my expertise went a lot further than just being able to help people to shift weight. What I was really brilliant at was helping people overcome eating disorders. And so I went ahead and started specializing in eating disorders. Let's put some eyebrows on. And as I was helping people with eating disorders, I did that for about 5 years. And what I realized was that clients who trusted me, who were really willing to allow me to guide them within themselves, what we always found was that there was underlying trauma beneath the eating disorder. Now, unfortunately, sometimes facing that trauma was more painful than being free of the eating disorder. Some clients consciously chose to stay with their eating disorder instead of facing their wounding because that was too scary for them. And that was a big moment for me, really allowing that to move into my heart, really allowing myself to acknowledge that what I thought I was doing when I started out had changed, and that what I was actually doing was guiding my clients to heal their own hearts. And the ones who allowed me to were able to overcome eating disorders that they'd had for 5, 10, 20 years and be able to create a really healthy, beautiful relationship with themselves. So that was just miraculous. I thought, wow, look what I can do. But I realized I wasn't really being honest about what I was doing. What I was doing was I was telling people I would help them overcome their eating disorder and lose weight, but I wasn't telling them how I was doing that. I wasn't helping them to understand that I was a highly sensitive empath and that I knew actually what they needed to face because I could sense and feel it within them, and that I was actually a really, really amazing guide because I could hold them in so much love. Because I had found that healing my own eating disorder actually came from a place of learning to give myself compassion. There was a point, though, in my career where I was really struggling to offer myself the deep, deep love that I needed. In order to stretch and grow and expand and step deeper into ourselves, we really need to feel safe. And I didn't have a strong relationship with my parents where I felt really safe, where I felt like they would really love me no matter what, and that no matter what happened, I would be held and I would be supported. I didn't have that experience. And so what happened for me was that I kept holding myself back. I kept sabotaging myself. I kept on wanting other people to approve me or recognize me in my business. And I knew that not forgiving my mother for the nurturing that I had had was really holding me back. And so I trusted myself, and I reached out to someone that I'd been watching for a while, and Kelsey Grant is Radical Self-Love in Canada, and I knew that she was the coach that I needed to hire. I invested $700, and I had a few coaching sessions with her, and she really invited me to give to others what I hadn't received for myself. And that was really confronting. It was really difficult to write a love letter to a stranger every day for 21 days and to tell them what I wish someone had told me when I was little. And so there was a deep reservoir of unmet needs, unseen needs, unheard yearnings. And what was so beautiful was then being able to really allow myself to pour that into letters that I would then allow myself to just randomly, anonymously give to somebody or drop in a letterbox or pass on to somebody who was standing near me. And what's so powerful about that was that by extending it to somebody else, I allowed it to be planted deeply in my own heart, that I had always been good at loving other people, but I wasn't good at giving it to myself. And in order to really expand into our purpose and really rise in our glory, we have to learn the art of self-mothering. We have to learn how to look at all the needs that we have and be willing to meet them, be willing to provide them. And I did. And my business took off. Everything got a lot better. I felt a lot more confident, a lot more assured because I was getting everything that I needed. And what was so amazing about that was that I need to go and get another lipstick color. I'll be back soon. I am such a believer in mixing lipsticks. I really love mixing them because you get these amazing colors when you mix lipsticks. So I had realized that I had all the support that I wanted. I had all the support that I wanted to give, and I was really willing to invest that in myself so that I could really give back to my clients. My husband and I felt really inspired to pay off our car and to make ourselves debt-free. And within 6 months, my husband was made redundant, and I had been in business for 7 years at that point. And it was our dream. It was our dream to have more time together. It was a dream for me to be able to step into provider. It was a dream for me to be able to be fully supported in writing and serving my clients and building a beautiful business. So we moved to the country, which was another dream. And what actually happened was that my husband renovated his childhood home for our family. And I was able to release my first book, start working on my second book, but I really found that I struggled online on social media. I'm highly sensitive and I really worried what people would think about me. I knew that I needed support, and I chose to hire someone who was amazing at PR and storytelling, Isabel Rizzo. And what I really love about Isabel is that she really supported me to become my own self-promoter. She really supported me to be willing to speak up and actually share some of the powerful epiphanies that I'd received in my life for some of the things that I'd been able to move through and be able to actually offer that to other people for nothing. So what I found was that I became a teacher, and I would teach what I wish someone had taught me, and I would do it for free, and I would do it online through my Facebook page and through my Instagram account and through my YouTube channel. And what happened was that the people who were just like me, who really needed to hear those things that I was sharing, jewelry, were drawn to me, and they started to hire me. And what happened was that I went from a New Zealand-based business to an international business with clients all around the world. And for the first time in my life, coming out as a healer and actually sharing what my gifts were and how I could help people actually attracted the most ideal clients ever. And those clients would rave about me. So they would share the miracles and the magic that they found through their self-healing journey with me, with their friends and their family. And I was into referral business for the first time in my career. I really found that I was doing amazing work in eating disorders, but it was really stepping into my soul purpose and my truth as an emotional healer, as a heart healer, that people really started to resonate and share on my behalf, and life just got easier. I was fully booked and I was overworking. I started to develop a mild tremor, and that mild tremor scared me. My hands would shake a little bit, and I really realized that I was doing too much. I was doing 10 client sessions at a time and charging $125 an hour, and it was affecting my health, and it was affecting my ability to show up for my family, for my children. And so I knew I had to raise my rates, and I allowed myself to raise my rates to $200 an hour. And from that point, not only did I continue to stay booked out, but then I became sought after from other healers who wanted to prosper in their soul work, who wanted to become sought after, who wanted to be able to share their souls to attract their ideal clients. And that's where I am today. More than half of my work right now is serving professional healers and serving and support them to articulate the message, to use their articulation with distinction so that people know exactly who they are, what they offer, what they've triumphed over, and how they can truly help other people to do the same. And this just brings me so much joy, because now I'm actually helping people that help people. And I really believe that we can make a difference. I believe that our gifts are meant to allow us to prosper, that the more truthful we can be about who we are, what we're here to do, the more we will draw in our tribe, the more we will draw in support. But I needed another mentor, and I chose Jean Hainer, who is an I Ching expert. She's a space clearing expert. She does lots of magical things, but she helped me see, according to the appearance of my face, some of the most pivotal characteristics and qualities about who I am to confirm me. She confirmed that I'm a global teacher. She confirmed that I'm very powerful using my voice to guide other people very gently home to the truth of who they are. That my loving nature makes me perfect for serving and supporting people who've been wounded and neglected, abandoned and unloved in the past. That I have a maternal, loving, generous nature that really loves showing up and serving and supporting other people so that they can rise in their truth and in their purpose. So this is what I like to look like when I do my videos. But today I really just wanted to show up and show you that process and walk you through bits of my journey over the last 10 years, that no one gets to where they are on their own. Without my husband's loving support and devotion, I could not have accomplished any of this. I really want you to know that where you are is exactly where you need to be. Don't look at where anyone else is. Just look for your next step. Just allow yourself to trust yourself. That the more we can focus on what we genuinely desire, living in the country, having my husband become a house husband, and having more time together as a family, having a prosperous business. I serve 6 to 8 clients every week, and they're from all around the world, and some are healing sessions where I'm guiding them with my perception to make their own self-healing magical, swift, and smooth. And some of my clients are mentoring clients where they're business owners themselves, who are gifted, gentle hearts, who really want support. And I love it. This is exactly what I'm here to do. And I'm soon to be releasing a live event where I will step into the Empress. And I will have my red chair there, and I will be confirming the spiritual gifts in others and bringing and inviting people home to the truth of who they really are. Thank you for watching. If you would like to hear more about my journey, stepping into my power, if you're a gentle, gifted heart, if you are inclined to your natural healing abilities and you're really wanting to build a thriving business that supports you on your soul purpose, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to hear what you think of this. I've never done this before, and I'm really grateful to show you myself, to show you what I've been through, and to tell you that anything that you desire is possible. It just takes time, and it's so worthwhile. So my love is with you. I'd love to hear what you think. If you found this valuable, please give it a big thumbs up. It would be magical for this to be shared with more people. Yes to being true to who we are. Yes to having curly hair. Yes to putting on our eyebrows if we don't naturally really have any, and mixing our lipstick and looking how we want to look. Rocking and owning the beauty that we've been born with. I hope you know that being who you are is the most magical thing that you can offer yourself and the whole world.